Hello friends, welcome to the first of my 3-part series, the Firestarter sessions. This offering is the most hot, quick, dirty thing I have ever channeled, and it is one-on-one experience. It's for those that are so ready to do the damn thing that they've been putting off and procrastinating, that just stays in the back of your mind and drains your energy, and you think about it every damn day, and yet the needle never moves. Firestarter is the lighter fluid, the ignition, the to really reap the satisfying reward of actual tangible results. Because if you're here, you are likely a feminine essenced creature. You're a pussy-powered person. You might be a woman, a womb carrier, identifying with the feminine. And when you do this, typically we're quite afraid of those masculine qualities of consistency, commitment, and discipline. If you're more identified with the feminine, these words might even make you go, ooh. I'd love to know, as you're jumping into the room, how committed are you? How disciplined are you? Tell me your relationship with even these words and these qualities. So Firestarter is a quick and dirty path to getting what you want and actually taking action, so that you can move from procrastination into pleasure-led productivity. This is really the vibe we're going for. So today we're going to talk about why you don't actually need more time and energy to put to your goal or your dream. I've been asking through the question boxes on stories, what the biggest struggle and the challenge is between you and you having what you want. And this can be any kind of goal. Perhaps you want to launch a program, start a new business, quit your job. Maybe it's more physical, like buy a house, financial, health-wise. Maybe it's to lose a certain amount of weight, or to do what I did and take your first boxing fight. It could be anything, a goal, an intention. An intention is powerful, but without action and follow through, the intention can't manifest. And I'm not talking about action in the way of brute force. This is how typically, initially, we think that action means. Of course, we live in a very 3D environment where that's how we're conditioned to work and play. What I mean by action is not passive participation in the manifestation process. So if there's something that you want, and if you're here right now, tell me the one thing that you think about every day that you want. And it might feel really, really far away. It might be $1 million. It might be a dream house. It might be a husband. It might be a dog. It might be, a fitness goal. It could be anything. To write a book. I have these conversations with dreamers all the fucking time. And then when I ask them, why don't you have it yet? The number one thing they say, which is why this is titled what it is I don't have enough time or energy. And why I'm bringing this belief through, this phrase through, is because it is number one foundational belief that is rooted in scarcity and lack that keeps us stuck, that keeps us in a pattern of self-sabotage if we start to take courageous action toward our goal, that keeps us from making the moves big enough to actually manifest what we want. So I invite you to first and foremost, just tell me, what's the one thing you really want that you think about every damn day, that's in the back of your mind? And it might feel way too big to even claim right now, but just put it into this space. And as you do this, I want you to think about the number one core belief or the thought or the story that comes up in your mind as soon as you think about this thing. Because the desire itself is really pure, right? The wanting, the longing is creation energy wanting to move forward. That desire is yours. whether it's the $1 million or the man or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that desire. What is inconvenient is what happens after we feel the desire and the story comes up. The conditioning is revealed. Because if you have the desire and you don't have it yet, you're still on that path of manifestation. Yeah, you're still in the 99% of the journey where it's all emotional and energetic and invisible. When we talk about manifestation, most of us, we just want the thing, right? We just want it to manifest already. We want to touch it and taste it and lick it and smell it and spend it. We want to see it in the mirror and wake up next to it. But 99% of the manifestation journey, of every single desire that you get blessed with through your body in a yearning, and the point of it actually arriving into your life, is all in here, right? So one of you just shared your one big desire, and that the core belief that comes in the way is it even real? Beautiful, beautiful clarity. So first, I would love to offer that as a little action. If you have a notebook, open that up and be like, what's the one thing I really want? And what's the story that comes up as soon as I think about it? Because the desire feels like an openness and maybe like a tingle or a turn on or an excitement and then the story comes in and the contraction arrives in the body as a result of your reaction and your conditioned response to that thought. To close off, shut your magnetism down and stay exactly where you are because it is safe enough. So once you can pull out and identify that thought, that one big shitty thought, and even beyond that, I want you to see if you can dilute it. Sorry, not even just like, what if that's the diluted version, if there's something even underneath that. It might be, I don't have enough time or I don't have enough energy, like I said before, but what's even underneath that? I don't have enough. I don't have enough. There's not enough. There's this deep commitment to scarcity. And so when belief is rooted in lack, it doesn't matter how much action you do, the subconscious mind is always working to prove itself right. This is why we start new habits and we fall off the wagon. Tell me about an intention you had that worked for a little while and then you found yourself defaulting to an old pattern. Or perhaps a behavior that you are so identified with, it's just part of your personality. It just is what it is. It is who I am. I am chaos. I am late. I am addicted to sugar. I am broke. Whatever these stories are, that actually you are so personally identified with it, it would be a whole threat to your identity to break the belief. So Firestarter is this real intense commitment to reworking that foundational belief so that it actually serves, it serves the you that you have to become to have what you want. Because if you don't have it, you're not yet that person. And that's beautiful. That's okay. You're in the 99% of the journey. I mean, it's most likely that that's where you are. So one thing around belief work is that it requires these masculine qualities that, as I said, if you identify more with the feminine, you're going to reject and dismiss a lot to protect the free-flowing, creative yumminess of being in the feminine. Which, when you're not completely integrated in the feminine, this can look like laziness, distraction, over-consuming, whether that's Netflix, social media, food, substance, using other things to fill the void, even though you know what you really want to do and you're not doing it. So when the feminine isn't integrated, she defaults to these patterns. And this is all really normal. This is a part of growing up as a human, right? We have these things that make us feel comfy and we grip to them. But likely, those habits are an outer expression of the inner symptom of not enoughness. And the more we practice this, we believe it's who we are. But a thought that we keep thinking becomes a belief. That's all a belief is. Beliefs aren't rooted in concrete. They're not set in stone. Your brain, your neural pathways, the place where your beliefs live in the body is malleable. It's changing all the damn time, every single day. Your cells are turning over. Your brain is ticking. The subconscious is receptive to anything that it gets repetitively. That's it. Anything that the subconscious is continually fed over and over and over, it becomes. And so right now, we are a product of what we have fed ourselves, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. The thoughts we're thinking, the feelings we're feeling. And when we start to break the habit of being ourselves and stir up the commitment we have to keeping these stories alive, we become much more open to embed new beliefs in to support what we actually want. Again, if you don't have what you want, there is a belief shift that has to happen to become the person that already has it. So to optimize your beliefs, it requires the masculine qualities of discipline, consistency, and commitment. What's your response viscerally to those words? Discipline, commitment, and consistency. I'd love to hear in the comments box below what that brings up for you. For a lot of us, when we think our main value is freedom, when we hear these words, at least this is true for me and my clients, there's a contraction that happens because we believe that discipline steals our freedom, that commitment closes us off, right? And what's actually true is that discipline creates freedom because there is less space for choosing. And the unintegrated feminine, when she's in her chaos and unable to choose, this can feel like anxiety, being ungrounded, not harnessing and utilizing your energy, and needing to call in more of those dark masculine qualities of penetrative choice. Yeah, definitely contracting, feeling that contraction big in this moment. Awesome. So using that awareness of what's happening inside to show you what's happening in your brain. So once we work the belief through consistency, through commitment to a new story, and through discipline to no longer humoring and giving more of our energy over to the old story, the outer world begins to change. This is what I mean by action not being as powerful as aligned action. You can do all damn day long. You can do. Move. Use your body, use your skills, be busy. But it won't get you anything closer to what you want because you're missing the vast world of your invisible and energetic internal realms. This piece is feminine, right? This is what you're really, really familiar with, but not optimizing and harnessing effectively. So the quantum moves quick, right? Even though we're operating within clock time, linear, when it comes to manifestation, the laws that are actually at play are beyond time. So the core belief that I don't have enough time is literally incorrect. It is invalid. It is not truth. I don't have enough time When will you ever get more time than what you have now? Literally never. When will you have more energy available to you than you have now? Literally never. Because all there is, if we're going there, if we're going to the truth, all you have is now. All you have is now. Your energy now, your time now. And so the story that you run, that you don't have enough time or you don't have enough energy to put toward that goal, to put toward that intention, and that's why it's not getting done, that's why it's not manifesting, is literally a lie that you tell yourself to keep yourself exactly where you are because your brain wants to keep you safe. That's it. And that's all good. We can keep choosing that, right? But I know what you really want is the one thing that you desire, that keeps you up at night, that you've been thinking about since you were a little girl. You know, that thing that if you got to your deathbed, you'd regret not bringing it through, not experiencing it, not investing in it, not attaining it, not achieving it. And so one thing that has really supported me and my clients when I work with behavior change and building better habits, because this is not necessarily taught to us, right? It seems as though our society wants to keep us distracted and addicted. Because someone that's in the seat of their power and knows how to really harness these universal laws and the power of your subconscious mind is a threat. You move at the speed of God. You become so sovereign, so untouchable. And this is why I think human evolution moves so slow, right? Because we partake in that same story. So what I want for you, me, us, is to believe more in the invisible and the magic and how supported we really are, and less in what we can simply see, touch, experience physically, because this is already old news. It's manifest, it's here, it's done. A past version of us was thinking and feeling our way here, and now it's here. So this version of you now is creating over there through what you're thinking and feeling and believing. And so if you want over there to be different, you best bet that what you're thinking, feeling, believing, and acting has to be different than what it was back then to create this. Did we get that? Did we get that? I love quantum speak. So one thing that's really supported me, this is the second piece of your homework. First piece was, what's the thing you want? What's the thing that knocks on the door of your brain every day in desire? And the immediate thought that follows it. The thought that is not supporting of manifesting it. The thought that says, you can't do it, you can't have it, there's not enough time, there's not enough energy, rah, 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 rah. Write those two things down. Second assignment. This is the thing that really, really helps me work within time and energy and believing in abundance of it rather than lack, is learning how you make decisions. Your unique blueprint. Human design is a fantastic way to chart this. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, Google human design chart, input your birth data, and then look at where your authority lies. Your authority is your decision-making center. We are all very different in this. And if you compare yourself to someone else or a book you've read or a podcast you've listened to about how to make decisions, and yet it doesn't feel natural to you, and it spirals you into even more misalignment because you're like, oh, I'm just not a decisive person, or I need more time, but I have to tell them now, or whatever. You're missing out on your magnetism. So go check that out. Discover your decision-making authority in human design. And then do a little Googling. Even just like reading a few articles, like paragraphs, like one sentence will change your freaking life if you don't already know this about yourself. For me, for example, there are multiple authorities, but for me, I'm an emotional authority, and I seem to attract a lot of emotional authorities in my clients, perhaps because we're the same. And our decision-making process is not the gut response of, I know, I don't know. It's not as clear-cut as that. I thought that's what I was, and I was making myself wrong for every time I didn't feel the immediate yes or no. Because as an emotional authority, I need time to ride my wave of pros and cons and what if I did and what if I didn't and how would that feel and I need like 3 days minimum, to like make a decision. And so when we know this, we can bring this into our creative process, building better habits and belief rewiring. Because then there's just much more compassion and understanding in our own process instead of putting even more resistance on the process that already is shifting habits and beliefs. Because let's be honest, it is hard. It is hard because what we have grooved is deep. Yes. This is human design that I was just mentioning. Thanks, Holly. You cutie. So when we know our decision-making process, we can be in a state of trust in our own timing. Trust in our own timing, which goes against that core foundational belief that there is not enough time and energy. When we start to build that trust in our own timing, through every day being more compassionate and understanding and kind to ourselves, we can tell when the energy is there for go time, when the energy is there for waiting, when the energy is there for acting. We can tell much more intensely because we're so much more attuned to our unique way of doing things, not who you're being coached by, not who you're watching online, your way. I know for me, last year was my most powerful year of shifting habits. Quitting sugar, going months without alcohol, taking and training for my first fight. These are things that, having my first 6-figure plus year, these are things that had always been desires of mine for years and years and years and years. And I was just much more committed in the stories that kept me stuck than I was for the new me that I had to become to already have what I want. Because when we desire it, it's a signal that it's already there. It's already happened in the quantum. It's like the future you tapping you in the heart or in the sacral, in the womb, in the pussy, being like, hey, that thing you want, you have it. You have it. And I'm just reminding you that it's here. And so when we get to collapse time from where you are now not having it to the version of you in the future that's tapping you going, it's here, you have the desire, you have what you want, is when we access the quantum through the choice, the decision, the discipline, the commitment. This is the new story. And that's it. That's the identity upgrade. And this is also the identity upgrade that Firestarter offers. Because belief work is no easy feat. There is a lot of resistance that can arise when we go to change a habit. Because the human biology, physiology, brain is built to keep you safe, to keep you familiar. Now, what's safe isn't always what serves you, right? We know all this. This is all like cliches I'm spinning, but I really want you to hear it as if it's for the first time. What's safe might not be of service to you. So I want you to check in. Is it actually safer for me to keep believing that I don't have enough energy, that I don't have enough time? is that actually safe? Or is it safer for me to believe that I have access to all of the resources I could ever need through this now moment? To me, that's the safest option, right? So once we know that decision-making authority, once we know that one shitty thought or that group of stories that comes up that surrounds our desire and keeps us hostage away from it, we begin to start activating our magnetism, because you're more attuned to when you're open and in flow, rather than in those old habits of scrolling your way, avoiding your way, numbing your way out from feeling your way there. So the most powerful change happens here, slow and steady. And by letting it be slow and steady, you actually play catch up to the quantum and speed up your manifestation. Manifestation is just like one big tangled paradox. I love it. I love it. My feminine is like, doesn't make any fucking sense. I love it. So did we catch that? Sustainable change is going slow and steady because there's less resistance there. And when you go slow and steady and you're on the path of least resistance, your manifestation actually speeds up because you're in alignment. Thank you. Light body language. I keep getting stuck in I have no energy. And I'm doing things that should be helping me, but nothing shifts it. Right. This is the outside in. And it's so tempting, right? And it's beautiful. Again, every single thing that is offered or marketed to us as being like a salve or a medication or a tool will work if we believe it to be working. There's no magic pill outside of the beliefs that we think. You already have proof of this. Okay, my loves. I think that is all what wants to spill out today. If you are curious, please join me for number 2 tomorrow. We're going to talk about how to get over analysis paralysis and perfectionism, because this is the next part. When we actually have the, okay, I'm going to commit, I'm going to set the intention, I'm going to book and schedule and control and plan and start. That's all the heightened energy of like the seduction of potential, right? The New Year's Eve goals, the seduction of potential. Yes, I'm going to sign up for the 6-week boot camp because I might lose 10 kilos. Seductive. Yes, I'm going to sign up for this course that promises that I'm going to make 10K in 10 days. Seductive. And all that energy, like the hype energy, gets us over that initial line, but it's not sustainable because resistance will come up. Your old stories will continue to fight for your limitations until you rework them through consistency, commitment, and discipline. If you need support in that to navigate the resistance, Firestarter is a one-on-one, immersive, intense, quick and dirty path to actually doing the damn thing and shifting from procrastination into pleasure-led productivity to reap the satisfying reward of results. Because I know you want those yummy results. I know you want to experience it. This is the very method, the very practices and actions and beliefs that I have used to change my body, to release. This is wild, I was just talking about this yesterday, to release a health issue that I suffered with for about 15 years. Like I used this exact method to do that after trying everything. This is the exact method I used to quadruple my income. This is the exact method I used to take my first fight and win it. And I want to share it with you in your own unique way, because that is the most satisfying path of least resistance for you. Not mine, yours. Okay, my loves, I'll see you tomorrow for part 2. If you have any questions, please make sure you pop them in the comments that arise from these kinds of themes. And if you're feeling the pull and you want more details about Firestarter, you want support and a right-hand wing woman, a hype girl, to coach you through the resistance that arises, because this is dirty work, I gotta tell you, to believe what the person you need to become believes to have what you want, DM me, slide in there, or comment below and I'll send you the link to see the sales page.